All right. So here we're back. Thanks for coming back. We are going to talk about.
We're back to the velvet underground. Just
That
kidding.
was pretty good.
Big funny.
Free entertainment.
Yeah.
Awesome. Um,
Shout out to my fave, Stevie Nicks.
yes. So we're going to go see
Yeah,
coming up
we get
next
to
month,
see
right?
her on November 12th.
Yeah. That's going to be fun.
It's going to be awesome.
It's going to be kind of cool this year. Hopefully she's doing better. She was injured.
Yeah,
So,
shoulder injury.
yeah. So we got postponed from earlier in the late summer.
Which actually worked out better for us anyway.
Yeah, it sure did. But yeah, so we're back. We're gonna talk a little bit about your surgery.
Yeah, so we're coming to the end of the cancer run. And so when I finished chemo and all the nasty side effects were starting to subside, because so my last chemo was on May 17th,
Yeah.
and then I had the full mastectomy, and I chose not to do reconstruction.
And why did it? Now, should we talk about that a little bit? Because
Sure, let's give me 1 second. So between May 17th and June 11th, which was the full mastectomy with no reconstruction, I was like had nothing going on in my body as far as, poisons and things like that. And
Yep.
so like each week that went by leading up to surgery was less and less side effects. So no more terrible bloody noses,
I forgot about those. Oh, those are so bad.
Yeah, I would have terrible bloody noses and all the rest we've talked about, and probably some I chose to forget. But my
I like the
skin,
bloody noses. Yeah.
yeah, and um, so by the time surgery came, I felt awesome. I was feeling so good. The fatigue was still to this day lingers around, um, and brain fog stuck around, and that's finally a little bit starting to clear up, but still not back to that. But similar to long COVID
Yeah.
effects, there's long chemo effects.
Yeah. It seems like your brain fog. Yeah, it's still kicking, but it kind of comes in waves, and it's like some days. It's kind of interesting to see it like that, but there is improvement. But yeah, it's been hanging on for
Well, it can
a long
go up
time.
to, like the fatigue and the brain fog can last a year or longer.
Yeah.
So in some people there's testimonials that they don't ever feel like that's rated itself
Ever?
ever. Like
Okay.
they still years out, though those are in less numbers than people who eventually feel like their mind is working like
Yeah.
it should. But
Yeah.
but yeah, like Jason was saying a minute ago, um, I chose not to do reconstruction, um, which for those who aren't sure, it just means getting fake boobs in place of the ones removed. And I've in my own research that I did, including testimonials from my own friends,
Mm-hmm.
and just listening to stories and reading about it and all of that, I opted for no reconstruction for a couple of main reasons. Number one, I'm 55 years old. I got Jason as my soulmate, so it's not like I'm needing to go have a nice chest to do anything. Frankly, they were a pain in the butt anyway. They were small enough where I never wore a bra, and then when I did, depending on the bra, being an A cup, um, weren't great. So, I mean, I never wore a bra anyway,
Yeah.
hardly. I'd wear tank tops or different things underneath or sports bras, just whatever, but I just didn't need it. And so, why would I want to now need it,
Yeah.
or whatever? So, that was the main focus. I didn't want to fart around
That
with.
wasn't the only reason, though.
Well, the other reason was in some of the testimonials, a friend of ours, it took her 4 or 5 shots to get her reconstruction right. And was done. I'm never going to invite additional surgery or things that are it's going to put me out in any kind of way these days, and the risk of infection and
Yes.
um, other things. And, if I don't know the exact statistic off my head, but, for those that need more than one reconstructive surgery, um, it just opens a can of worms for me and my, immunosuppression
Yeah.
plus the
Any more surgeries would be more of
risk of
risk of
infection.
infection and,
Yeah.
yeah, just getting in there being
Ditto.
invasive. Excuse
Or
me.
jinx. Um, yeah, so
Yeah.
I just opted out for that. And man, I can tell you this, surgery was a breeze. After surgery was fine. What is horrendous, as we all know or have heard if you've ever had anybody go through it, is the drains. So they put these two drain. Well, for me, it was one drain on each side, but
Well, hold on one second. Let's before we get into that, I just want to say it's like so when you went in and had surgery done, right? It was a same day procedure.
yeah, they sent
So
me home.
they sent you home the same day, and we had gone down. Your mom and I had gone down to be there for you, and be there with you and
My
through it.
supports.
And we were down there, and we waited, and it was a long day and all that kind of stuff like that. But major surgery. We finally get the info that you can come back and see her. She's out of post op and stuff like that. And we walk around the corner, and here's Jen standing there with her dressed, ready to go, and they're telling her to sit down. Like, sit down. You gotta sign off on all this stuff. And she's like, nope, chop, chop. Let's get this going. Little probably under the influence of the anesthetics, but nonetheless, it was pretty funny that we turned around, walked in expecting to see you maybe laying there. Nope, shoes on, fully dressed, standing there, ready to go.
Yeah, I was just, I am not one to linger unless it's a social gathering, then I might be the last to leave. But in the medical um, arena, by that point, I'm like, chop, chop, let's just get me out, let's do it. And in fact, I think I used that same chop, chop when
Yeah,
we
you
were
did.
trying to get in there. I'm like, chop, chop, this was supposed to be at 8 o'clock or, whatever.
Yep.
And I'm like, let's get this show on the road. And then same at the end, when I woke up, they're like, okay, we're going to go get your husband and your mom. And I'm like, cool. And I'm like, oh, can you hand me the bag over there?
Yeah.
I'm like, I just want to grab my phone or was something. And she set it on the bed and then went to get them. And I'm like, putting my clothes on, scooted down.
Yeah, they were literally like trying to like get you to do stuff that they needed to finish, and you're like, yeah, chop chop, let's go. Yeah, yeah, it was pretty funny though. You were just moving along.
But I was in a great mood because I'm like, this is the last big, big thing,
I know, kind of weird. Like you're coming out of surgery for this, but you're kind of like jazzed up because it's finally getting this
the
removed.
the final step in the cancer uh treatment, or whatever. And um yeah, I was like, see ya.
Yeah, and then it was,
And you're
J-
letting me go home this first day?
yeah, and it was Jason. You're going downstairs to get the prescription. Mom, you're going to get the car. You orderly, you're gonna be pushing me
And I'm
downstairs.
like, I don't even need to. And they're like, well, we are required to wheelchair you down.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, get ready. I'm like, go,
So all these
go.
people in place, and then there she is, just coming around, talking, coming down in the wheelchair, talking to the guy, having a good time.
I was so happy to, like, they're letting me out. I'm free.
Yeah. Ah.
Uh,
But anyway, I just kind of wanted to throw that in there before.
oh, yeah.
That was pretty funny.
I forgot that. Yeah. And what was really cool is a good friend of the family, his wife, about a month later, after I, roughly a month later, got a different kind of breast cancer. And she had surgery first because of the type of, that's lobular.
The type that she had, yeah.
Yeah. And anyway, so she had surgery first, and they got, excuse me, this chair that, because, all right, so this is the part I wasn't paying attention to when they were probably telling me. You have these drains in, and if you're a large woman or man, I guess, if I have a runny nose, it's fall.
Yes, it is.
And so, but I'm not sick.
No, you're not.
Nope, just a runny nose. Um, so some people have 3 drains. Some people have 2 drains. My cousin had 2 drains. And I'm little and my boobs were little. And so I had 1 drain, 1 on each side. And they're not terrible, but like nobody, if it wasn't for my cousin Leah, who really was such a tremendous guide to me during this, having gone through her own battle, you need shirts
Yep.
to hold the drains. And when you're walking around, and like, especially you want them like in these pockets.
Yeah,
And,
because they're just like lightly sutured in
Yeah,
to
they're-
where the edge of the surgery is. So yeah, it's a tube coming out of the wound.
yeah, it's just,
That helps drain the fluid out. But you would have never known that it's just hanging there. It's like you've got to support it.
exactly. And like that, you need a lanyard to clip them to in the shower, things like that. Or if I would have just let them dangle, they would have ripped out,
Yeah.
or they could get caught on something. Yeah, so I don't know why I wasn't really aware of any of that, or maybe I was and just didn't
Maybe.
care. Who knows?
A lot
But,
coming at you.
yeah. And anyway, so Leah had gotten me a shirt, and then I went and I think
Yep.
I bought one more, and those
Yep.
were lifesavers. But our other family friend and his wife bought me a chair, like
Yeah.
an electronic reclining chair. They're like, you're going to need this when you sleep, because you have to sleep upright so that you're not going to pull the drains out. And I don't sleep on my back. I sleep on my stomach, or on my far,
Yeah.
almost stomach side. And it was a lifesaver, and the most generous thing I had.
It was so sweet.
It was the sweetest thing, and it was such a saving grace. And I did sleep in that chair because I couldn't be trusted anywhere else.
Well, that's true. But, I mean, that was such a nice thing that, he brought it over. And, he came over and he helped even set it up and move it, and it was just such a thoughtful thing that we didn't even think about as a like that's a possibility. It might be a benefit for us and stuff like that. But it was something that they used and brought it over, or got us one, or got you one.
Yeah, it got me my own. And it was beautiful and it was perfect. And so for about 2 weeks, was it 2 weeks or 1 week? I
What
think I
two?
set a record in the seriously, in the time that I took those drains out, because I don't know if you've gathered anything about my medical prowess is
Medical prowess,
is that
inability to follow instructions. I mean,
impatience
there you go.
as an impatient. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, but how long did you have him in for?
Well, it was less, it was like a record. It might have been just slightly over a week or about a week, I think.
Yeah,
Um, and and it had to, you had to meet some criteria,
yes,
like under 30 mils a day coming out of the
yeah,
drains or some shit. And I met him really quick, and I was doing everything I could, like naturally, to get that to drain. You
write down
know?
the wrong number. No, I'm just
Yeah.
kidding. I'm just kidding. They did, yeah, they went by, but they were interesting because you had to measure it out. So there were little suction cups, like a little ball that whatever, and then it's just like a plastic tube, and it comes out, and the suction would obviously fill it up, and then she'd have to measure them every day to see when they get down to a certain level. Then it's like, oh, now it's time to like get them out or whatever. So for you, it went faster than normal.
Right.
It got down to that level of you measuring. You finally got to the
It's like 30 mil for 3 days in a row. You measured it in the morning and you measured it in the evening. And once it hit 3 days of 30 mils, don't quote me on that. I'm pretty sure that's the number. Um, you can, it's any having them removed at that point, if there is any other fluid, it'll just be absorbed by the body.
yeah,
So when mine came out, and when right after surgery, I had I had the best cleavage I'd ever had in life, because it was like there was like a little boob layer that when I wore a shirt, it just where the fluid was kind of lined up right above, it just made like the perfect cleavage. And I'm like, I've never had like this perfect cleavage. And I'm like, now get rid of it. No. Um, but I'm like, it almost looks like I have boobs. Remember the little fluid?
yeah. But I don't remember it like you do.
Well, my mom does. And just kidding. But she did. She's like, yeah. Anyway, eventually, and the doctor was like, you will eventually be completely flat.
Yeah,
And that took like maybe 2 weeks, and eventually, so now there's just nothing. It's just chest. Um, but yeah, so that John, thank you, Jordan
yeah,
and John and Leah. I'd like to just say that if it weren't for other people, Becky, another girl I've known since first grade and grade school, and I hadn't seen her in a number of years. And when she heard, we went out for coffee, and she brought me a whole bag of headscarves and
mm-hmm.
the ice packs for
Neuropathy.
the neuropathy to prevent it, and all of that. So I cannot, and the support and just the prayers, and that that meant more to me than anything on the medical side.
Yeah, it was pretty interesting that a lot of people came out and showed you some support and prayers and a lot of communication, but there were some people that really out of the blue, kind of, deep from their heart, they
Yeah.
came out and just little things, whether it's, the shirts or the information or the chair or just those things that kind of just showed up and
Or just the random check-ins
yeah,
often, I
someone
mean,
dropping off food or something.
or when you'd see somebody, they would say you're in my prayers every day.
Mm-hmm.
Things like that. And it's very humbling, and it is such a blessing. And me, any goodwill, any good vibes, any shout outs are, I just consider those prayers to my Savior Jesus Christ, because he hears them too, and I it really did lift my spirits
Hmm.
throughout the whole journey. And just so I would just want to say publicly to everyone who sent me support and prayers and love and encouragement, and you you were one of the main reasons I was able to try to be positive and continue to have strength and draw upon the strength I have, because you're calling it out,
Yeah.
um and I just, for anybody who's experienced anything, um like I with the transplants, I wasn't that way. I was very private and kept it. Where this journey, I felt the opposite, where I'm like, I want people to know. I want, their prayers if they're willing to pray for me, and so this time around, that was one of the most curative
Yeah.
medicines that I received. So thank you
Yeah.
from the bottom of my heart.
I think that really, really did do a lot of just wonderful things for you, for us too. The whole thing. It was nice that you kind of shared that, invited that in, because, you know, it was. I know from my perspective, from being like the partner in going through it with you every day, that those little things. I can see them lift your spirit, or sometimes. It sounds like a bad way to put it, but sometimes it's like, oh, it took a
For
little
sure.
reprieve off something, like, maybe I wasn't getting that job done, like kind of lifting your spirits, and something else kind of came in. So it was just wonderful to have that all the time. So I'm glad that you allowed people to share that with you too. So that's cool.
Yeah, and well, yes, without it this time around, I probably would have mentally not been as much in the game, just because I was would I'm I'm just making this up, but you know it was such a big support to me. And not that I would ever have given up or anything. I don't mean it that way. I mean that I it's just like, what else, kind of thing. And at first, like when the first diagnosis came, I was like, seriously, like to Jesus, I'm like, seriously, like
Yeah.
this is what you got going for me, you know?
Yeah.
Um, and all of the support and just kind words and different and gifts and gift cards, DoorDash cards, everybody who has ever cards in the mail, just the old way, cards in the mail. I
Yeah.
got
Just
some of those.
a lot of sweetness,
A lot of love.
a lot
Just
of
I
love.
really felt it, um and it really made all the difference. So for those of you struggling with anything, you have to follow your heart, but at the same time, sometimes just having one or two close people that
Yeah.
you're able to share that with, and they can positively reinforce you on your journey, and it does, it uplifts you, and it reminds you that you are strong, and
Yeah.
nothing is going to take you down until Jesus is ready to take you down, kind of thing.
And and it's just good to share. Don't keep things bottled up, because even if my take on it real quick would be, if you just share it, if you're not getting like a reward for or the answer right away, but you are kind of venting out some steam and kind of letting it out. Um, don't keep things inside. Just kind of share them. You know what I mean? If you just kind of bottle them up, you're just
It's He's exactly right, and I'll tell you why. Your body, your immune system, your healing cells, your T cells, your brain, your mental state absolutely and directly affects your results and your success, and your body follows that. So if you're, and I mean, I can tell that even now when I'm not suffering from anything, when you're negative, which I've had a struggle with lately, just it affects your health. So it is super important when you're struggling with anything mental, financial, work related, children related, whatever it may be, talk to somebody,
just share it.
share it or pray about it. Go for a walk and just get it off your chest, because all of that starts building up as cortisol, then your guts gets all inflamed, and then that is where a lot of disease starts, and so on and so forth. It's so if you have a positive attitude going into a difficult medical situation and you maintain that throughout, it is going to make worlds of difference on how successfully the medicine even works on you.
Well, yeah, and just mentally, if you're just sharing something with somebody, you're not living it with it in your head and making it worse. So,
Our friend Mia has been lovely too. I mean, has spent time with us, talked about the podcast, different, health, using music to also trigger those healing frequencies we have in our body that God gave us. And but she had the best line that him and I still use almost every day, at least once. What was it? You don't want to.
The line or the sentiment of the whole thing is something that we've both been saying, and she was saying it too. But is that, yes, if you don't live in your problem, if you have an issue, you can't live in it, and that's the only thing that you do. It's like, I'm in a down spot, but you're just like living in the fact that like the food's bad for you out there, and it's like then. Well, yes, it is, but
That's a
not that it's wrong.
day.
But not that I'm not saying that you're wrong. I mean, yeah, it's all shit. I get it. But the thing is like, if you live in it, then that's all you do all day long is just think about that, instead of being like, yes, it is, but I can't do anything about that right this minute, so I'm not going to waste all day.
Right. Well, and
that's living in it.
She was, yes. And she was saying, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, Mia, add a comment below. If just because I have cancer or this, and you're feeling like crap, and you just don't feel like any good thing good is coming from the treatment, that's a moment in time. You don't want to live there. This the full circle is your life, and this is just a small portion of it, of the pie of your life. Don't live on that piece, don't make this your life, and I was like, I love it. That is great, and it reminds me of a Bible verse Um, you know, in the big picture of things, does this really matter? You know,
What's the Bible verse?
well, it's in a little plaque in my bedroom.
Oh, there's
Whatever.
a Bible verse. Oh, I thought you were.
Yeah, no, it is in the big picture thing. Does this really matter?
Yeah.
You know, and it can be, and that's a great phrase
And
when
what would
things
that?
starts bothering you.
Yes. But what would that answer be?
The
I would.
answer is no.
Well, I would say yes. I mean, everything matters, but it's like, how much does that actually really matter? Like, what I think that's saying is like, how much of that is actually effective to you? Like, it's like, all right, someone cut you off in traffic. It doesn't really matter. Well, it can matter, this, that, the other, but really in the end, nothing, it didn't really
Well,
matter.
shit, like that kind of stuff shouldn't matter at all. Drivers are dicks and they're just going to cut you off every day, all day. So that I would say though, like I'm getting mad. Here's a true story where this is what got Maureen, Darius's daycare lady, until first grade, and God rest her soul, she's passed on, but she turned out to be like his other grandma. One time when I went to pick him up early, she had a playroom in the basement, and after lunch, they would clean up their mess, put their dishes in the sink, whatever the routine was, and then they'd go down the basement. Those that were old enough, some kids went to nap, and others could play. So he was probably 4. I mean, he was really little, and she had a toy box, and it had random
Toys.
outfits,
Yeah.
and swords, and so there was like a cowboy hat and vest, and a lightsaber, and a something, and a pink tutu, and just random thing kids could put on hats and play in the basement, whatever. Well, Darius was late getting down there, and it was first come first serve. And so he got there late. I found out later he was the last one down there, and the only thing left was the pink tutu. So when I went to pick him up, he was wearing the pink tutu. And it upset me a lot. And I was just like, I don't want him wearing that. And Maureen was like, why? All these kids are under 6 years old. They're all out of school. They're not in school yet even. And she's like, why don't you want him to wear it? And I'm like, cuz I just don't think it's appropriate. And she's like, for him or for you? And anyway, she was like, Jen, he was the last one down. She's like, yesterday Brian was in that pink tutu. They just don't want to be left out. They want to wear something. They're plain. And you're the only one that has a problem with it because they don't even know that a pink tutu is a girly, weird, like you're bringing this drama in to kids who are just dressing up to play. And he's playing, battle, he likes swords and stuff. So it's like, I made a big deal out of it. And so she gave me that little thing with the quote, in the big scheme of things, does this really matter? And no, it didn't after she corrected me. And when he gets cut off in the thing, he's not even going to be thinking about that 5 minutes later, because somebody else is going to be cutting him off, or his exit's coming up. It's not even going to matter, but you get really upset during it. And that's the same with big things or small things. So I always look at it like that. Is this going to matter tomorrow? In a year, will I really care that this, whatever? And it's really actually peaceful to kind of pause and think those things.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, I think, for me, I think the statement is kind of, I mean, yes, nothing, it doesn't really matter. Most things are just kind of, it is what it is. I mean, there's that phrase for it. But, I mean, to be honest, I mean, it's kind of like if you're having a bad day or someone's having a bad day and you look at them and you're comparing your bad day to theirs, right? And you're like, well, that's not that much. But for them, it's a really bad day. So they don't, it's no difference, right? So things matter. But how much do you let them affect you? And how much control does it have? Like, how much does it matter? I think that's kind of where I would take that
That's
statement.
excellent, honey. Excellent.
That would be me. But
That's excellent.
um, but yeah, that's it's pretty interesting when it comes down to kind of a perception of how you were gonna be going through breast surgery, full mastectomy, kind of thing. That didn't they give you the option for just one?
Yes.
Yeah, they were gonna give you like, do you just want one boob?
Well, in their defense, they
Uniboob?
yeah
Did they even offer to put it in the middle?
They don't like to take a healthy boob.
No, of course they don't. It's interesting. It's like your transplants. Like, they don't take things out; they just add things in.
Well, I was just like, hell no. I don't wear a bra anyway. Now I'd be forced to, and I'm not getting reconstruction, so
Yeah.
I'm not. You're never gonna match it. And now I'd be forced to wear a bra even at home, even watering the grass, because like, yeah, I'm like one boob Jen over there at 403.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, have you seen the one boob lady?
Yeah.
It's like I could see us as kids going to try to cop a glimpse of the one boob lady.
Yep.
It's so dumb, but yeah.
So dumb. But
I was like,
we would all
no,
have been
thank you.
pedaling by. Could have heard us coming for miles with our cards and our spokes. Shh. She won't see us coming.
They're behind the tree, the skinny tree on the boulevard.
Yeah.
Look
Your
at
bike sticking out, tires to each end.
Yeah.
They never made a bike that was inconspicuous. They're always like, oh, there's a bike.
Yeah. Oh, man.
That would be good stuff, though.
It's good stuff. But yeah, so that brought it to the end. And then to end the cancer journey, at least the medical side of it, they wanted me to stay on the chemo, the post-surgery chemo drug.
Yeah.
It's a pill, supposed to be less difficult to worry about side effects and stuff. Well, the complete opposite happened. Yeah, that was bullshit, because not only did the list of possible side effects go on for miles and were treacherous. I mean, just horrible.
They were horrifying.
Horrifying ones. So my gut right away was like, I don't want to do this. And Patty, my mother, was like, she looked at me in the office before the doctor came in. And she looked at me and she just said, if I could make your medical decisions for you right now, I'd forbid you to take this drug. But I'm not going to say that. I'm like, well, say it to her.
Yeah.
I'm like, there's no reason not to. You're clearly have very strong feelings.
Anybody
about this.
that read that, the information that you sent it out to us, and it was like,
they're like, no.
Like, what's the other option? Well, there
is zero other options except natural stuff, which
yes, because that is another option. There's zero options that they were going to give you.
Yeah, there's so big pharma chemo drug didn't work with me. I tried it and I couldn't walk or use my hands. So after
like literally.
Yeah, after like 4 hours after I took the
hours.
first...
So it was like after a day or two or whatever it was, it gets in your system. It was supposed to give you like terrible sores and pains and like in on your bottom of your feet and your hands. Well, within what was it? It was like a couple of hours.
Couple of hours, yeah.
Feet were blistery red and
My
sore looking. The
hands
hands.
were like just flame looking red, and I
Oh, it
couldn't
was
like hold
terrible.
a cup. I couldn't hold.
Nothing. Couldn't walk. Couldn't put your
No,
shoe
I
on.
couldn't put socks or shoes on, and it was just horrifying. So eventually, I had to stop that,
Yep.
and when I did, it was like, see you in 3 months. Okay,
Yeah.
so
Once you said, yeah, I'm not gonna take this because I can't live.
walk or yeah.
And they're like, okay, well, tough luck. See you later.
Yeah, it really was. I'm not on your pharma, and there's no other pharma options. See ya.
Yeah.
See you in 3 months.
Bullshit.
And it was like I hadn't heard from my transplant team either all year. So never heard from them. I'm like, does anybody want me to get any labs in these next 3 months? Like maybe we should just keep doing the labs this for the rest of the year, just like through this first
Yeah.
year of cancer. Yeah, I don't know. It was so disgusting to me. So then I went really hardcore in the natural stuff. And I'm going to do a whole show on things that not only will help prevent cancer for people, but people who have had it or have it,
Well, you're gonna
good
do.
things. I'm going to give you some affordable, easy ways that just making these things part of your life will prevent not only cancer but a lot of other diseases as well, or at least help to prevent them. So I keep saying I got ideas, or I found these things, and I will deliver, I promise you. But I'm still organizing it. I have thousands of articles, thousands of recipes, thousands
yeah.
of teas that I have to organize before I get to share them with you.
So you're gonna basically, at the end, like you said previously, that you will put some information out there for some of the teas and some of the remedies of some of the benefits that you can find. That, I mean, if you did your own research, you're going to find a lot of this stuff too, but Jen's done a lot of it, so you're going to put a lot of that
I'm just
information.
going to share some of the key findings that cancer or no cancer, just really are very positive and helpful for it. And in the near future, Jason, we're going to start talking a little bit about Jason and, some of his pointers and experiences with the alcoholism, with drinking. Mm-hmm. And I'm really looking forward to getting off the mic so much, just kidding. But, giving Jason an opportunity to share some of his sides of challenges in life or whatever.
Yeah. That'll be coming up here this month. Here, yeah, probably next couple episodes.
Yeah.
So we'll be getting into that, and so that'll be kind of interesting. So I'll come up with some interesting. I'm just going to tell you about my story with drinking and kind of my struggle with it, and some of the funny things, some of the sad things, whatever, as it goes on. I mean, there's plenty of stories that go on for years, but I'll just kind of give an overview about it and kind of show some of my supports, things that I've found that have kept me sober, and just kind of how I view that too. So other than that, I think we should probably wrap it up.
All right.
Go
ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, so we can, I don't know what I was going to say now, so forget that.
Sorry about that. Sorry for cutting you off there. I would just like to say, as always, we are here by the grace and mercy of God, and we believe that God is an integral part of our success and our health and our journey and our mission and our purpose in life. And we just want to say thank you for watching, and God bless us all. And please continue to bless us, dear Lord.
Remember to like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
All right. Thanks, folks.